This is to help you with multiplying fractions. So we're going to do a few of them, and I want you to make sure you are following the steps. 1/2 times 3/4. Multiplying fractions is a lot easier than adding and subtracting fractions. You multiply across. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8. So my answer is 3/8. I do not have to simplify this one because there is nothing that can go into 3 or 8. There's not a number I can divide 3 and 8 both by. Let's try 2/5 times 1/2. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Now I can simplify this. I can divide both of these by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. I also taught in class how to cross simplify. When you cross simplify, it just makes it a little bit easier at the end, especially with the bigger numbers. What you're going to do is look diagonal, 2 and 2. Those are both the same number, so I know I can divide them by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Now I can multiply because I've already simplified. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 times 1 is 5. This is the same answer as I just got. I just simplified first. Let's try a few more. 3/4 times 2/3. Sorry about that. If I look diagonal, 3 and 3, they're the same number, so I know I can divide them both by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. I have to divide them both by 3. Now I look diagonal this way, 2 and 4. I can divide both of these by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So now I have some fractions I can multiply. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. But let's say you did not cross simplify. You would still have 3/4 times 2/3. You can multiply across. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. And now you can simplify. What can I divide 6 and 12 both by? Actually, I can divide them both by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. What if I had a problem at like 2/3 times 11? The first thing I have to do is put the 2/3 and the 11 into a fraction. 2/3 times 11 over 1. Anytime we have a whole number and we put it over 1, that creates the fraction. Now we multiply across. 2 times 11 is 22. 3 times 1 is 3. This is an improper fraction, so I have to divide. 22 divided by 3. The top number goes inside the division box. The divisor stays outside. The bottom number is our divisor. 3 will go into 22 7 times. 7 times 3 is 21. 22 minus 21 is 1. So my answer is 7 1/3. Now what if I had two mixed numbers? 3 1/5 times 2 6/7. The first thing I need to do is put these into improper fractions. 5 times 3 is 15, plus a 1 is 16/5. This one is 7 times 2 is 14, plus a 6 is 20. So this is 20/7. I really don't want to multiply 16 times 20, so I'm going to see if there's a way I can simplify. Beforehand, looking diagonal, 5 and 20. I can divide both of those by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So 16 times 4 is 64. So I have 64/7. This again is an improper fraction, so I have to divide. 64 divided by 7. 7 will go into 64 9 times. 9 times 7 is 63. 64 minus 63 is 1. So I have 9 1/7. So 3 1/5 times 2 6/7 is 9 1/7. And I'm going to try one more. 5 1/4 times 8/7. I have to take 5 1/4 and put it into an improper fraction. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21/4 times 8/7. So now this is where I'm going to also still look diagonal. 4 and 8. What can I divide 4 and 8 both by? I can divide both of these numbers by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now I'm going to look this diagonal. 7 and 21. I can divide both of those by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 21 divided by 7 is 3. Now I multiply across. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. So 6/1 equals 6. Now if I did not want to cross simplify, I could do it this way. 21 times 8 is 168. 4 times 7 is 28. That's an improper fraction, so then I would have to divide. 168 divided by 28. So this is where I would have to do a little bit of work. 28 times 5 is 140. I need bigger than that. 28 times 6 is 168. I get the same answer. This is just a little bit more work. Cross simplifying just takes a lot of steps out. So I would like you to do these problems. 7/5 times 5/3. Number 2, 2 1/3 times 1 2/5.